Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I'm going to react to something I saw online. This dude, EDP 445, the Eagles fan who's been caught with minors once in a sting operation, now apparently got caught again in what looked like a mockery sting operation. One dude was dressed up like a damn cupcake. The other one had on a weird blue suit. It didn't look serious to me. But, yeah, man, look, I don't understand how a person like that can actually be in a situation where they do that again. Why is he not away? You know, I don't ask for people to be thrown in jail all willy-nilly, but if you're the type of person who touches children, you really do need to be away from the rest of us, honestly. Now, if you haven't done it and you're just ill and all that, you need help. And unfortunately, in this country, as warped as it sounds, which I think is actually done by people who want to stay in the dark. Because just like any porn industry, I'm pretty sure that's a multi-billion-dollar industry with that sick shit too, excuse my language. But the fact of the matter is, in this country, you can't tell your psychologist that that's your problem. You can't. Because if you tell them that it's something that you've done that would go against a minor in any way, they're going to throw you in jail, and then you don't get the help you need. You end up getting in jail. And so people like that need to be able to talk to somebody, and I don't think that there's any outlets for individuals like that to keep them from turning into monsters. That's always been my point of view on that. Because I've dealt with a monster, I'm not interested in anything that's going to be able to keep those monsters in the dark. You got to understand that. Anything that's going to make them not surface is a problem. And so the culture of not allowing them to speak about their issues, telling everybody you're gonna cut their heads off when you see them, it's just gonna keep them in the dark. And I think it's those in the dark that want to stay doing what they're doing that push that culture. They're the first ones saying we're gonna maim them, smoke them, and all that because you want them. Because you want them. That's how I think of that. If you want to protect children, you gotta smoke these people out. You gotta make them feel like they can speak on themselves so we know who the hell they are. Are we protecting kids or not? That's always been my point of view, and it's a unique one, and I ain't never heard nobody else say it but me. I'm the only one, and it's because I am a victim, and I know what needs to be done. People like that do not need to be in the dark. Some of them are very intelligent and know exactly how to cover their tracks, and you will never find them, and they will keep touching kids. While the few ones you do catch, you just catch, but it's so many others, and they would come out and tell everybody what their problem is. They would come out and more or less expose themselves for who they are, and we'll know who the hell they are and how to keep our kids away from these assholes. Straight up. So that's my whole thing on that, man. We need to change our entire culture about that. We need to flip that on its axis. I want all of them to be able to tell me exactly who they are. Come out like the pride colors. I want to know who you are. That's how I feel. Because I can't protect my kids from something I cannot see. You understand what I'm saying? I can't find a solution to this if I don't know who the hell they are. You understand what I'm saying? So that is backwards in this country, and I think it's done deliberate. I'm smart enough to see that is a way of keeping them able to do what they do. And I don't think that's a good energy that wants that culture to be that of cut them up, shoot them. No. We want them to feel comfortable coming out of the closet so we know exactly who the hell they are. And anything other than that is primitive in nature, in my opinion. You gotta figure that out and be smart. This is chess, not checkers. If you're protecting kids, you gotta protect them for real. And if you're gonna tell everybody that they're gonna get the worst of consequences for coming out and telling people who the hell they are, believe you me, you ain't protecting a single child at all. You ain't protecting nothing. You're just enabling these guys to stay fearful of coming out, thus making it so that they're not getting help, they're not stopping what they're doing, they ain't telling nobody who they are, and they're just sitting in the dark, whatever way that goes. Getting sicker, getting worse. You know what I'm saying? Doing this shit in the dark. EDP 445 has already been caught. We know who he is. I know if I have a child and he's anywhere near that child, there is a huge problem because I'm aware of his preference. Someone else, see what I'm saying? That's my thing. And the Chris Hansons and all of those guys, that's entertainment. All that does is make them more fearful. They ain't deterring nothing. And so that's what I want to say, as somebody who was a victim as a child of this type of stuff, man. I'm telling you, you do not want these people continuing to be too fearful to expose themselves so we don't know who the hell they are. That's what's on my mind, man. That's exactly what came to mind when I saw that story. It's like, at least I know who this one is. I'm about the protection of children, man. I really am. I don't care what your preference is. I don't care what people think is normal tomorrow. Because a lot of stuff that we agree upon today, they looked at it like this yesterday. So I don't know what y'all gonna be on tomorrow. But regardless of what y'all agree to, if we are putting children through trauma or making them grow up too fast so that human beings that are grown can get off, you're wrong. And you're playing with God and you shouldn't. I don't give a damn at what time you see this video. It could be 37 years from now. It's going to always be wrong. That's never going to be okay. I just want to make that very clear. That's never going to be okay. Not from women, not from men, not from nobody. Because at the end of the day, children have a right to be children. They have a right to not be subjected to your sexual nature and your lust, for which you probably need to get under control in your individual life any damn way before it ruins you. They don't need to have that part of their lives be disrupted so that it ruins them too. Ruins their lives, make them too scared to leave the freaking crib like I was. Make them too warped to be able to see right from wrong. Can't tell that they ain't supposed to be doing that. Can't tell that that's not how humans are supposed to be reacting to children, ain't how children are supposed to be acting to grown-ups. Enough. Enough. Real conversations need to be had about this. Real mature conversations, man, that are going to deter the behavior, not keep it in the dark. And if y'all can't fathom that, you better know those who want to keep it in the dark are fathoming that, so you better get smarter. This isn't the first time I've had this conversation. I've had this conversation on this camera before. But this is yet another example of a circumstance that can make it relevant to talk about it. The damage that your moment can do to that child is far more advanced than a lot of you will realize, man. It's not sexual, bro. You are messing with their souls. You're messing with the development of their minds. It's not simple stuff. It's not. It's very complicated in nature. Because they're developing. They're trying to figure out. Their brains haven't fully developed even in certain cases. So whatever it is that you create for them to be thinking is normal, they're going to carry it forward and it's going to be normal. So if you give a damn about that, regardless if you identify this way, if you're sick like that or you're not, you need to understand why it's important that you understand this stuff. You need to know what it does to them kids. If it wasn't done to you, you need to know that stuff isn't harmless, man. It ain't harmless. And so that's what I want to say to everybody, man. We are in a space where everybody's trying to identify the way they want to. And I just feel like the next phase is for those of them to start wearing their flags and saying, this is what we want. But the problem is what you're doing to the psychology of others while you're trying to help yourself to what you want. That's the problem. What you do to other people, when you hurt them that way, then it's like, okay, I got mine. That's not right, man. It's not right. And if you got a good bone in your body, you need to choose a different way to go, man. You need to harness that, figure that out. Whatever your thing is, man, do not push your garbage onto little ones. And they don't have an opportunity to even know what the hell is right and wrong, up and down. They ain't got the education necessary to help make good decisions. Can't take care of a baby, can't get a job because it's too young for them to even work. Y'all gotta have other stuff in your head besides your lust. You got to. Because you are contributing to things much worse than what it is that you intend to. When you warp a child's mind early on, you don't know who the hell they're gonna turn into tomorrow. That might be your president. That might be the dude in charge of your health care. You don't know what you're doing. to people, man. That's why I speak the way I do so passionately, because I do understand this. I do understand this. It's not minor. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to think a lot of different ways, but this is the crux of the real conversation, is the damage that's being done. And I'd like to think there's somebody out there who's going to feel me on that. I'd like to think that. So that's why it's important that people get help, that help be available, that we not let these entities that don't want help to be available have too much power, so that they can keep that help from being available to these individuals, because it's needed. It's needed to protect the children. So that's what I have to say about that, man. That's what's on my mind. I pray prayers of protection over your children. I pray prayers of protection over your mind. And if you are ill like this, or if you identify like this, if for some reason tomorrow they don't consider this an illness, do understand that this is not as simple as gay and straight, friends. It's not. You're damaging a developing mind. It's not love. So if you were shown that, that's not love, fam. You were a victim. You don't do that to nobody else. You don't want to pass that. Because maybe you handle it in a way that doesn't turn you into a monster. The person you're going to do it to, the person that you're going to do that to, you may turn them into much worse thing than you. And it's evil. It's very evil in nature. Just like most lust is evil in nature when you consider it. How we let it get out of control. How people let it control their lives and ruin their lives, ruin their wives and their husband situations and stuff like that. Because you can't harness your lust. I get it. We all hold a body. We all have a body. We all struggle with whatever it is we struggle with. Whether you're a traditional person or some other alternate thing, it's a struggle to deal with the flesh and that of the loins itself. Whoever you are, it's a struggle. But at the end of the day, for those who do it this way, you got to know how much of a burden you are to the world you're in, just by practicing the things that you do and applying it to children. So that's what I want to say to y'all, man. I hope that everybody's having a blessed day. I don't think that everybody is like that, you know what I'm saying? Just because I went through that, what I did. But I just know there's all different types of people who may be able to listen to me, and I want them to know, those who are telling you that you shouldn't be able to speak up on what it is that you are going through, they don't mean them kids know better than you do when you're acting the way you do. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching.